Yeah, so if you could ask the next question, please, William.
Okay. I know in a few videos you mentioned after 6 months it lessens the chance of hearing from an ex, the dumper. But what if after 6 months or so they start orbiting your social media, which goes back to what you talked about and a couple other questions. But
Yeah, sure. Great question. So people was asking me to let them know of like the golden period of people reaching out. And I found that really, really difficult because I was thinking, I know of so many instances. I was really struggling to think of a way to give the best kind of way of representing the data. So in the end, I looked for what they call the mode average. So when you think of the averages, there are different ways of doing an average. One type of average is called the mode, which basically means the most. So you're not looking at the different ends of the spectrum. You're looking at the pattern of where the most instances take place. And from when I looked at my own research, I saw that the most instances took place between 3 and 6 months. 3 and 6 months of no contact beginning. And then it did start to lessen. However, there is a huge range. I'm talking the shortest time I've known is a few days. And the longest time I've known has recently been absolutely smashed out of the park. The longest time I had known was 13 years. And I thought that was crazy. 13 years of no contact. Okay, absolutely no contact. 13 years, the dumper makes contact. However, recently, this has been completely smashed out of the park by somebody I was doing audio coaching with, and they was telling me this story, which I've got no reason to disbelieve. It was a story about one of their friends, and in essence, somebody reached out, a dumper reached out to their dumpee after 30 years, 30 years of no contact. So when we look at it like this, you know, the quickest I've ever known is a few days, say 3 days, and the longest is now 30 years with everything in between. You can kind of see that there should never be a time of fear. So although after 6 months it does lessen, it doesn't lessen to such a degree that it's almost impossible. You know, I know of lots and lots of instances of more than a year. Loads of instances more than a year. I would say loads of instances after 2-3 years. Now, where it really does get into the very low numbers is when we go probably over 5 years. I know a few over 10, including that one that was 13. And then this 31 has just blown it out of the park. So when I'm saying 6 months, when I'm saying this 3 to 6 month golden period, that is the biggest cluster. But I really don't want people getting worried. I know of many instances where it's been 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of no contact, no social media connections, no friends in common, nothing. Absolutely silent. You would think there is no way on earth anybody would have any reason or ability or possibility to contact. And then on that random Tuesday, that random Thursday, you know, they make contact. So when you're saying that all of a sudden you're seeing this orbiting, I would say, you know, it's completely consistent with somebody who is having their romantic emotional attraction raised to a certain level. And you've got to remember that, you know, when I talk of this level, obviously we're having to imagine it. But depending on the relationship, the breakup and the aftermath will depend of how low that's fallen. And the lower it's fallen, the longer and more difficult it will take to grow. And in some instances, it can never grow. In some instances, it will never get to the necessary level to reach out. But in some instances, it will grow to that necessary point. However, it could take years. So, yeah, absolutely. 3 to 6 months from no contact is the golden period for a reach out that I've seen. But I've seen many, many instances of it being more than a year, 2 years, 3 years. So honestly, what you're saying is totally believable that after this amount of time, your ex might only now be beginning to start to show some interest again. It's absolutely possible.
Well, I think she was mad probably for the first 4 or 5 months, in my opinion, from
it can take a long time. It can take a very long time. And the beauty of it is the vast majority of dumpees are always shocked to hear from their ex. It's very, very rare that you speak with a dumpee who goes, yeah, I was expecting that and it happened. You know, most dumpees are absolutely blown away. Most dumpees will say, well, I've heard it happen to other people, but not for me. You know, I know it's happened to some people, but not me, not my instance, not my situation. Now, although everybody's situation is unique, when we look at them within, you know, the realm of breakups, there are lots of similarities. So everybody's situation is unique, but the context of a breakup is the same. At the end of the day, we are all human beings, and I'm a big believer in human nature. And, you know, if you do the right things, then the likelihood is that one day your ex will want to make contact. And that very much sounds like, in your instance, we might be slowly but surely heading in that direction. Quite possibly. Yeah, did you want to follow up on that one, William?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say real quick that, because I post probably once or twice a week, usually on the weekend after I went out and did some stuff. You know, whether I was doing something fun or whatnot, I don't put anything sappy or anything on my Facebook. And then if I put anything, I share certain things with just friends. But then I make a few things public, like when I went hiking and stuff like that. You know, and jet skiing and all that stuff. But otherwise, I don't post but a couple times a week. And
no, I think that's really good. You know, if you can use social media in a way where you promote yourself in a fantastic way, and you can make sure that you are not looking at their social media, that is the best position to be. You know, if you can avoid their social media whilst at the same time promoting yourself in a great light, that's the ideal. And it sounds like you're doing a very good job at that.
Yeah, that's thanks to you and a few others who.
No, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, so let's get on to the next question.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent Bo, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent Bo got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.